Imagine waking up tomorrow, looking at yourself in the mirror, and feeling that the face looking back at you does not at all reflect the energy and vitality you feel inside. Imagine spending hundreds, perhaps thousands of euros or dollars over the years on creams, miracle serums, lotions, and superficial treatments, only to realize that gravity and time still seem to be winning the battle. Carmen came to my office on a Tuesday morning. She was 64 years old. She carried in her handbag a collection of luxury cream jars that had promised to restore her youth. She sat down in front of me, visibly frustrated, almost with tears in her eyes, and said a sentence I will never forget. "Dr. Dave, I don't feel old, but my face says otherwise. I've done everything they told me, I put on all these creams, and my face keeps sagging. What am I doing wrong?" And I looked at her and told her exactly what I'm going to tell you today. I said, "Carmen, you are not doing anything wrong. The problem is that they have been lying to you about how the face really ages. You are trying to paint the walls of a house whose foundations are sinking. I am Dr. Dave, and I have spent years studying human physiology, cellular regeneration, and the true mechanisms of aging. Today I am going to reveal something the cosmetic industry would rather you not know. Facial aging is not just a skin problem. It is a deep, silent, and three-dimensional process that happens on 4 different levels of your face. But here is the great news, the news that changes everything. Today I am going to teach you exactly what to do every morning to reverse this process. You do not need surgery, you do not need expensive injections, and you do not need magical creams. You only need your hands, a few minutes a day, and an understanding of the science I am about to explain to you. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I am going to give you a step-by-step protocol, an exact morning routine based on scientific studies from the best universities in the world, that you can start doing as early as tomorrow. And I promise you that, if you stay consistent, your face will notice it. But before we move on, do me a favor. Write in the comments which city or country you are watching me from. I love knowing how far this community reaches and how many people are willing to take control of their health today. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, do it now and turn on the notification bell. Every week I share real medical information, without exaggeration and without filters, designed specifically for people who want to live their mature years with strength, clarity, and natural beauty. Now let's divide this into the 6 main sections, and I'll show you. Section 1. The big lie about aging and the 4 levels. To understand how to stop aging, you first have to understand how it works. Most people, when they think about aging, think about skin wrinkles. They think the skin loses elasticity and simply stretches and sags because of gravity. This is the reason we buy creams that promise to tighten and firm. But the science of the last 15 years has shown that we were wrong. The aging of your face is a complex biomechanical process that occurs in 4 distinct layers: bone, muscle, fat, and finally skin. If you only treat the skin, you are ignoring 75% of the problem. It is like trying to fix a mattress that has lost its springs by simply putting a prettier sheet on it. Let's break this down, because once you understand it, everything will make sense and you will know exactly why the routine I will teach you at the end is so powerful. Section 2. Level 1. Your bones are shrinking. Let's start with the foundation, your facial skeleton. Yes, you heard that right. Your bones age and change shape. Your skull is not an inert stone structure, it is a living, dynamic tissue that constantly remodels itself throughout your entire life. As the decades go by, especially after the ages of 50 and 60, the bones of your face begin to resorb. They become smaller. CT scan studies have shown that the eye sockets, the holes in the skull where your eyes sit, widen and become larger with age. The maxillary bone, the one beneath your cheeks, retracts backward, and the angle of your jaw loses definition. What is the visual result of this? As the eye sockets enlarge, your eyes appear more sunken and those deep under-eye hollows show up, giving you a chronically tired look. As the cheekbone area recedes, the soft tissues that used to rest on it lose support and fall, deepening the nasolabial fold, that line that runs from the nose to the mouth. And as the jaw loses its shape, the dreaded jowls appear. But this is where the magic of science comes in. There is a law in physiology called Wolff's Law. Julius Wolff was a 19th century scientist who discovered something fascinating: bone adapts to the mechanical loads placed upon it. If you apply pressure and regular mechanical load to a bone, it becomes stronger and stays dense. If you stop stimulating it, the bone resorbs and disappears, just as happens to astronauts in space due to the lack of gravity. Therefore, the loss of facial bone support is not only because of age, it is also due to a lack of proper mechanical stimulation. In the routine I will give you later, I will teach you how to apply deep and controlled pressure, as in Japanese Kogao realignment techniques, to send signals to your bone cells called osteocytes. These cells detect physical pressure and activate biochemical pathways that promote bone maintenance. Just by keeping your foundation strong, you will be preventing everything else from collapsing. Section 3, Level 2, the muscular paradox of your face. Let's move up one level. On top of the bone we have the facial muscles. And this is where the story becomes fascinating. You have dozens of muscles in your face, and unlike the muscles in your arm or leg, many facial muscles attach directly into the skin. This means that anything that happens to the muscle is immediately shown by your skin. For a long time, we thought that with age, the muscles of the face simply weakened, lengthened, and sagged. But recent anatomical research shows us a very different reality. Facial muscle aging is a dual process. There is atrophy, yes, but there is also chronic hypertonicity. What does that mean? It means that some of your muscles, through lack of proper use, atrophy, lose volume, and waste away. But other muscles, the ones you use repetitively to gesture, stress, frown, or press your lips together, remain permanently contracted. They shorten, tighten, and become rigid. Think about the orbicularis oris muscle, the one that surrounds your mouth. Over the years, because of repetitive tension, this muscle contracts and generates compressive forces, causing your lips to become thinner, turn inward, and develop the famous barcode wrinkles. Think about the corrugator muscle between your eyebrows. Its constant tension creates those two deep lines that make you look angry all the time. So, what do? The solution is not to paralyze all the muscles with botulinum toxin, Botox. Botox paralyzes the muscle so the skin does not wrinkle, but in the long term, a muscle that does not move at all atrophies, loses volume, and worsens the support of your face. We need something better. We need to rebalance the musculature. A recent clinical trial, published in the prestigious journal Medicina, evaluated middle-aged women who completed an intensive facial yoga program. Using a high-tech device called myotin PRO, which objectively measures muscle tone and stiffness, the scientists discovered something wonderful. Specific facial exercises succeeded in relaxing and significantly reducing the stiffness of the superficial muscles that cause expression lines, such as the frontalis muscle in the forehead and the muscles around the eyes and mouth. They released the built-up tension. But at the same time, isometric and resistance exercises strengthened and increased the tone of dynamic and supportive muscles, such as the buccinator in the cheeks and the digastric muscle in the underchin area. And if you think this is not noticeable to the naked eye, let me tell you about the historic Northwestern University study published in JAMA Dermatology. Dr. Murad Alam and his team had a group of women between the ages of 40 and 65 do 30 minutes of facial exercises. After 20 weeks, a panel of dermatologists evaluated their before and after photographs without knowing which was which. The result was astonishing. The women had visibly increased the volume of their upper and lower cheeks, and the dermatologists estimated that, on average, the women looked almost 3 years younger. Almost 3 years of measurable rejuvenation, scientifically proven, just by moving and training the muscles of the face. Exercise creates muscular hypertrophy beneath the skin, which works as a natural filler that counteracts fat loss and sagging, giving your face a firmer, rounder, and more youthful shape. Section 4. Level 3, the avalanche of fat. Let's move up to the third level, the fat in your face. And here too there is a big misunderstanding. Facial fat is not a single uniform layer, as if it were butter spread under your skin. In 2007, researchers discovered that the fat in your face is divided into individual compartments, like little cushions separated by walls of connective tissue and ligaments. There are deep compartments, close to the bone, and superficial compartments, just beneath the skin. As the years go by, 2 disasters happen simultaneously. First, the deep fat compartments, especially beneath your cheekbones, the deep malar fat, begin to deflate and atrophy. They lose volume. Since this deep fat used to support everything above it, the skin and the superficial fat compartments lose their support. And this is where the second disaster happens. The superficial fat, pulled by gravity and without deep support, slides downward and accumulates over the retaining ligaments of your face. Scientists call this pseudoptosis, a false sagging. It is not that your whole face is falling, it is that you have lost the deep support and the fat from above has slipped downward, collecting in the nasolabial folds and along the jawline, forming those unwanted bulges. Can we do something about this naturally? Yes. Deep facial massage. But not gently stroking your face, I am talking about a structural and intentional massage. Medical technology has confirmed this. In a study using 3D computed tomography medical scanners, researchers measured exactly what happened beneath the skin of people who performed a specific facial massage every day for just 2 weeks. What did the radiologists discover? That massage has the physical ability to displace soft tissues. They observed that the highest point of the cheek tissue moved almost 4 millimeters upward and outward. In addition, massage deeply stimulates lymphatic drainage. A large part of what we consider sagging in the lower face and under the eyes is actually an accumulation of interstitial fluids, stagnant liquids, and toxins because the lymphatic system becomes sluggish. Massage drains this fluid, instantly restoring definition to your jawline and cheekbones. Section 5, Level 4, with the skin and the secret of fibroblasts. We have finally reached the outer layer, the one everyone sees, your skin. And this is where most people focus all of their efforts, but often in the wrong way. The firmness, elasticity, and youthfulness of your skin depend on wonderful cells called fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are the factories of your skin. They produce collagen, which gives structure, elastin, which gives bounce, and hyaluronic acid, which gives hydration and volume. At age 20, your fibroblasts are working at full capacity, surrounded by a tight collagen network. But as we age, two things happen. First, ultraviolet rays from the sun, pollution, and oxidative stress damage and fragment that collagen network. And second, because the network is broken, the fibroblast loses the mechanical tension it was anchored to. Imagine an acrobat walking on a tightrope that suddenly goes slack and collapses. The fibroblast, no longer feeling tension around it, literally collapses. It enters a state of lethargy, stops producing new collagen, and to make matters worse, starts secreting enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, MMPs, that destroy even more of the existing collagen. It is a destructive vicious cycle. That is why applying creams only on top rarely works in the long term, because the factory is asleep in the deeper layers. We need to wake up the fibroblast. And how do we do that? Through an incredible scientific phenomenon called mechanotransduction. Fibroblasts are mechanosensitive cells. This means they can sense physical forces and convert them into regenerative chemical signals. When we apply controlled mechanical stimulation to the skin, such as micropulsations, small rhythmic pinches, or tapping, we literally stretch and awaken the fibroblast. In clinical studies where mechanical stimulation was applied to the skin, such as the mechanostimulation technique, biopsies showed spectacular results. After a few weeks of rhythmic stimulation, electron microscopy revealed that the dormant fibroblasts had been reactivated. They showed signs of intense secretory activity, increased the synthesis of hyaluronic acid and elastin, and began to restructure the fragmented elastic fibers that seemed lost to aging. The skin became more elastic, wrinkles softened, and patients noticed an incredible improvement in the sagging and brightness of their face. Manual physical stimulation, such as light tapping, reactivates microcirculation and forces the cell to produce a benign healing response that rebuilds your extracellular matrix. Your touch is medicine for your cells. Section 6, Dr. Dave's Morning Protocol. Very well. Now you understand why we are aging and why traditional strategies fail. You understand that we must act on bone, muscle, fat, and skin all at the same time. This is not just any beauty routine, it is a facial biological engineering protocol that you must perform every morning. It will take you between 5 and 10 minutes. Ideally, do it in front of the mirror, in the morning, after washing your face and applying a few drops of a natural oil, such as jojoba oil, rosehip oil, or argan oil, to ensure that your fingers glide without irritating or harshly pulling the skin. Mature skin is delicate, and we should never pull on it without lubrication. Listen to me carefully and follow these 5 exact steps. Step 1. Deep bone stimulation. Wolff's Law. We are going to awaken the support of your bones. With the knuckles of your index and middle fingers making a loose fist, you are going to apply firm, deep, static pressure along your jawline from the chin to beneath the ear. Press against the bone and hold the pressure for 10 to 15 seconds at each point. Breathe deeply while you do it. Then, do the same on your cheekbone, the maxillary bone. Place your knuckles just beneath the cheekbone and press upward and inward, as if you wanted to push the bone toward your eyes. Hold for 15 seconds. This sends a direct mechanical load to the periosteum and the osteocytes, signaling to your body that this bone is under load and must remain strong and not resorb. Step 2. Lymphatic drainage and fat repositioning. Now we are going to clear stagnant fluid and lift the superficial fat. Open the palms of your hands. Place the inner edges of your hands at the sides of your nose. With medium pressure, press and slowly glide your hands beneath the cheekbones, toward the temples, and then slide your fingers down the sides of the neck until you reach the collarbones. Repeat this sweeping motion 5 to 10 times. Do not glide quickly, do it to the rhythm of your breathing. You are physically pushing excess interstitial fluid toward the lymph nodes in the neck so it can be eliminated, deflating the face and helping reposition the sagging superficial fat upward. Step 3. The cheek lifter, muscle strengthening. Based on the successful Northwestern University study, we are going to build the natural filler of your cheekbones. Hide your teeth with your lips, forming a large letter O with your mouth. Now, try to smile intensely, lifting your cheeks toward your eyes while keeping your lips tight over your teeth. Place your index fingers gently on the top part of your cheeks to feel the muscle contract. Relax the cheeks and lift them again. Do 10 repetitions of lifting and lowering. On the last repetition, keep your cheeks lifted and hold them there for 20 seconds before relaxing. This strengthens the zygomatic muscles, giving support to the middle third of your face. Step 4. The jowl and jawline antidote, digastric tone. To define your jawline and work the lower musculature, the digastric muscle and the platysma, which according to the Myoton PRO study improved dramatically with facial yoga, we will do this resistance exercise. Place both fists under your chin. Try to open your mouth slowly while applying strong upward resistance with your fists. Press upward with your hands and downward with your jaw at the same time. Hold this isometric contraction for 10 seconds and breathe through your nose. Relax and repeat 3 times. This will tone the muscles of the floor of the mouth, restoring tension to the area and making your jawline sharper and more defined over time. Step 5. Fibroblast tapping, waking up collagen. To finish and work on the skin and fibroblasts, we are going to use mechanotransductin. With the fingertips of both hands, begin giving small, quick taps all over your face, as if you were playing the piano on your skin. Move across the forehead, temples, around the eyes, cheeks, around the lips, and the neck. Do it vigorously but without hurting yourself for a full 1 to 2 minutes. You will notice your skin becoming slightly pink. That is the goal. You are activating microcirculation, bringing oxygen-rich blood to the skin, and the micro-impacts are sending mechanical tension signals to your fibroblasts so they wake up and begin their cycle of elastin and hyaluronic acid production. Your face will instantly look brighter and more revitalized. There you have it. 5 steps. 1 daily routine. An approach based on the real physiology of your body, targeting bone, mobilizing fat, retraining muscle, and awakening skin. But let me be brutally honest with you. Nothing I have just told you will work if you do it for only 3 days and then forget about it. Bone does not remodel over a weekend. Muscle does not hypertrophy in 2 afternoons. Your cells need the message consistently. You have to send the signal to your body every single day. Many people tell me in consultation, Dr. Dave, at my age it's no longer worth it, my body no longer responds. That is an absolute lie. I have seen women aged 70, 75, and 80 radically transform the tension in their face, improve the firmness of their jawline, and recover that glow of life they thought was lost forever. Your body, no matter how many years appear on your ID, is an incredible machine of adaptation. It responds to what you give it. If you give it sedentary living, it withers. If you give it intelligent stimulation, attention, and constant care, it flourishes. Your mature years do not have to be a process of passive decline. They can be a stage of powerful maintenance, elegance, and radiant vitality. But the decision to begin is yours. I want to propose a challenge to you. Apply this exact 5 to 10 a minute routine every morning for the next 4 weeks. Take a photo today in natural light and take another one in a month. Look at yourself, feel your skin, and observe how your musculature responds. I assure you that you will be surprised. If this video has opened your eyes, if it has given you hope, and above all, if it has given you a practical tool that you can use right now, please give me a like and share this video. Share it with your sister, with your friends, in your WhatsApp groups. Send this information to that person you know is spending money on things that are not working for them. Tell me in the comments which of the 4 levels of aging has surprised you the most: bone, muscle, fat, or the fibroblasts in the skin. I read absolutely all of your comments and learn a lot from your experiences. Remember, youth is not measured by the lack of years lived, but by the vitality with which you choose to live the years you have. You are the one in control. I am Dr. Dave. Sleep well, eat better, touch your face with awareness every morning, and I will see you in the next video. A big hug.